Ladies and gentlemen, friends and viewers, welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary brought to you by yours truly, Stormy, with the capital Z. In this game, we have WFZ spawning as the red underclear at the top right against I believe it's a Chinese player or a Korean whose name we cannot see over here, but on the site from where I downloaded the replay, it was written as Zhao Zizi. So we're just gonna be referring to him as the Blue Idol from now on. He will be going up against WFZ, who is the Red Undead, on this map, Twisted Meadows. So, what can we expect on this map? We have a pretty much of a straight spawn, opposite spawn, or a side spawn, as some people like to call it. And on this map, the Nidal player seems to be going for some creeping at this on this laboratory camp for some reason. It is a it is an unusual spot for a Nidal player to creep, because most of the time you see them creeping at this null camp over here, because considering how easy it is to take out when you have the right combination of units and the right micro skills. The undead player sending out his ghoul as a scout. Surprisingly, most of the time you see an acolyte there, but no, he has sent out his ghoul as a scout over there, which, well, didn't really bother to get in. Or I think he's probably gonna be heading over here, just as I said, just as I pointed out a while ago. Nile players tend to creep out this camp at first, before anything else, that is. And the AOW creeping is about to begin with two wisps over there as to back up the AOW. There's a hurl boulder by the golem over there, and the Nile player has to be extra careful. He almost took out that mud golem over there. Has to be extra careful not to take them out using a building, because he will not gain any experience if he does. Okay, now the orc. Oh, did I say orc? I mean undead. Undead player has to be a little confused right now, because he already visited this spot, he already visited this spot, he already visited this spot, and the Nile player does not seem to have planted away his AOW on either of the spots, and he probably had to be confused for a few seconds over there, but I believe he pretty much has uh, found out where the Nile player has to be, because he is heading into that right spot, killing a critter over there and getting those little skeleton warriors, but they are not going to be that useful if you ask me. Well, he got his DK there in time if you ask me, because these null wardens, they can like purge your skeleton warriors, and when they do, they can purge basically anything. Purge your water elementals, purge your skeleton warriors, purge your spirit wolves, and basically the whole creeping at that camp idea with the summonables is really not good. The warden got a scourge bone chimes from that camp, and no, I will not say that that would be very too useful to the Nidal player unless and until he goes for bears, which he probably will in the future, seeing that he is not very much interested in selling it off. He doesn't really have the Ancient of Wonder at his base, so we can't really say if he is interested in selling it off yet, but he probably will do that and might just do that right now, because Naruto players don't have that many melee units. When you if you're not counting the bear. Yes, this is an army where that skeleton, well, that bone chimes will come in handy. These many number of ghouls and their DPS, I mean, it's very much helpful to the whole army if you have the vampire aura. So an idle player playing a little tactful, getting in, getting out of the surrounds, getting a nice little shadow strike over the DK forced to fall back because he can't really stick in there for long. An player still has a lot of mana left in there, in the tank of that warden. Can cast about, I think, two more shadow strikes. Shadow strike is 75 mana, or I think it's 65 mana, or wait a second, I think it was increased in the patch 1.26. I think it's 75 mana right now. And well, whatsoever it is, he still has enough for two of them at least, which he will be letting go over that DK in a few seconds, killing off the critters. Once again a wise choice, because you don't really want to leave them out for the Undead player. And oh, there goes the Shadow Strike. He's now, it seems to me like Night player is going to be trying to follow away the DK till the base. DK obviously not gonna be killed that easily, but the Nile player is doing a really good job of keeping him at bay. And I don't know, I'm not sure who got the creep kill, but I think the Undead got the creep kill, because I kind of saw the ghoul hitting the knoll before it died. And well, Nidal player right now, the Nidal player is in a really bad position. His Warden falling down, oh my, falling down to lower hit points, and well, down to 40 hit points. Now has to hightail out of that battlefield if she wants to live another day, that is. And the Tree of Ages is ready for the idle player. The Ancient of Lore should be... Did I say Ancient again? I mean Ancient Stormy, Ancient! The Ancient of Lores will be coming in as the Warden TP's back, or rather staffs back herself to the base after she bought a Staff of Teleportation, that is from this shop here. Undead player has reached level 2.7, should be getting to level 3 soon enough, and will be an interesting choice if he goes for the Unholy Era level 2 instead of the Death Call level 2 when he gets there, because with the amount of ghouls he has right now, Unholy Era level 2 will be really effective if you ask me. And is he going for Gargs? No, he is not going for Gargs. He is pretty much transitioning into the standard undead, making that slaughterhouse, and probably gonna getting destroyers or abominations from there. Well, since this matchup is going a little out of the way, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few meat wagons, but they're pretty much useful only when you're against mass dryads or something like that. Speaking of dryads, I don't think the undead player should have much of a problem dealing with the dryads when he has fiends on the field. And speaking of fiends, that is, we haven't seen any fiends in this game as of yet. And well, speaking of fiends, there comes one. Fiends can easily counter dryads, so making the dryads won't be a wise choice on the part of the Nidal player. Nidal player was able to force the undead player to TP back to the base when he was attacking. Well, he was kind of like ambushing it, but Nidal player now gonna be creeping at that camp, has to be careful. Oh my, well, oh boy, careful Nidal, careful Night Elf, almost getting your hero killed over there. 2 items dropped, but well, he probably should use up that potion, or I guess he's gonna leave it out. Skeleton Warrior approaching. Skeleton Warrior gonna pick up that archer. I think it's gonna be able to pick up that archer. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but no, he's not going to. And oh, Warden has really low hit points, and Warden is going to be attacked by the Skeleton Warrior. And whoa, down to lower hit points. Warden leaving behind that mantle of intelligence. Undead player now creeping at this specific camp only with the Lich over there. And no, I believe I was wrong. He's bringing a DK too. DK getting that orb for the Lich, passing it away to the Lich, and giving that Gloves of Haste as well, giving that Lich maximum DPS with that little thing over there, Orb of Corruption. And now the Undead player is going for Ghoul Frenzy, and well, I believe the Undead player wants to pretty much rely on destroyers and ghouls. It's not really a common build, but I believe SBK did a cast over in which some player did make this kind of a build order. He went for destroyers with ghouls, not with fiends, and it was pretty effective. That's one thing I can say. And Nidal player pretty much creeping as much as he can before he could face the Undead player, and Undead player arriving at the base. I don't think the Undead player will be able to finish the battle right away or something like that, even if he has to win the game. But or rather will be able to take out this Ancient of Lore. No, Nidal player TPing back to the base in time, and oh boy, that bear is going down. Nidal player was a little too late to rejuvenate it. And the next to go down will probably be that Ogre Mauler. No, I was wrong. The archer was taken out first. Oh boy, now this goes down Mauler. Nice little fan of nice by the Nidal player. More bears being taken out by the Undead player, and oh boy, is the Undead player standing strong right now. Nidal player has to bring in his A game if he has to survive this, and oh boy, Undead player still has a pretty strong army considering the fact that he lost all of his ghouls. Even if he like lost all the ghouls, they were simply the they were simply the frontiers. I mean, the Undead player still has the whole meat, the whole, you know, the bulky part of the army left. Those things were just to shield away the whole main part of the army. And well, the Undead player now kind of forced to go back. I wouldn't say forced. No, I will not say forced. He planned to retreat out just to be careful. That's all I can say, because with the amount of units that the Undead player has and the amount of defenses that the Nidal player had at his base left is really considerable, because Nidal player only has like 4 Moonwells. Well, not like that's a lesser amount, but it can be considered as good as useless if those Moonwells aren't full of mana and it is daytime. At the Undead player, if he kind of committed to that attack, he could have taken that game over there. But it seems to me like the Undead player does not want to rush in. He does not want to risk losing any more units apart from those ghouls that he did lose over there. Now the Undead player seems to be transitioning into the old school Undead army, the whole classic, the whole standard Undead army, that is. Oh boy, Warden getting in and doing some good amount of damage over those units, but that was too little and too less for the Undead units to not handle. Now the Undead units gonna be marching in towards the Nidal player, gonna go after those units one by one. Nidal player doing his level best to go after those units, and oh boy, I did not catch the Warden hitting level 5, and whoa, a level 5 Warden. That's one thing devastating. That is one thing that is devastating, and don't know, the Nidal player might just be able to save himself from the Undead player with that level 5 Warden. But it seems to me like Nidal player should retreat back. Since it is like night time, he can hide away the Warden and send back his units, which he kind of lost over there. He will be going back to his way, then oh boy, he just lost the last ride he had, and well, this is bad. This is just bad for the Nidal player. Has to retreat back right now. He cannot stick in there for long. Has to retreat back, heal up with the Moonwells, and just try to muster up some army. Just stick in there and muster up some army. Since he has the level 5 Warden, level 6 isn't too that far away, and if he reaches level 6, he might just be able to take this game away. But I don't know. Undead player has like 3 heroes. One of them already reached level 4, others at 3, and the last one at 2, and still has this little, or did I say little, I mean massively nuking army. Here comes a few wisps. They're gonna blow up, or rather, oh boy, did none of them blew up. That was funny. And was that wisp actually silenced? I never knew you could silence wisp and like disable them from detonating and all. I never knew that was even possible. Well, it's possible. I knew, and I know now. And Nidal player struggling right now. That's all I can say. With all of those Fan of Knights, all of those Shadow Strike, and well, so far being able to take out 2 of those fiends, and still has some good amount of Moonjuice in the Moonwells. Undead player now going after the Ancient of Wonders. Ancient will go down relatively easily, and well, that will pretty much signify the GG for the Nidal player, because he pretty much needs that. You pretty much need an item shop when you're fighting at your base, because that basically like gives you the 50% of the advantage in the battle. Apart from that, it is your base. Oh boy, there goes the final stroke by the archer over there, or rather the ranger, the Dark Ranger. And GG says the Nidal player. Good game, well played by both players. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. This was Stormy Z going over and out. Bye bye.